The agents of slaughter are back with another video on dark crime, this one about a report coming out of the San Francisco area around about a year ago. The Bay Area reporter Do Right. 2 arrested in the tortured death of a man. The San Francisco police had arrested 2 people in connection with the tortured death of one George Randall-Saldivar, who's the adopted son of 2 gay dads. They were right in March 2019. Randall-Saldivar, who was 23, was allegedly tortured, killed, and his body found stuffed in a suitcase floating in the San Francisco Bay February 18th last year. That according to the San Fran Police Department. 2 people, Gerald Rowe, who is 47, and Angel Anderson, who is 36, both of San Francisco, were arrested in connection with the death of Randall-Saldivar. Rowe was arrested February 21 last year at his apartment at 1272 Market Street, where the killing is said to have occurred. That person, at the time of the report, was still in custody. He had pleaded not guilty to charges of murder, conspiracy, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. Anderson, also known as David Anderson, confessed to participating in the killing while in custody at the Sacramento County Jail. Anderson's attorney had told the Bay Area reporter that Anderson identifies as a transgender woman. Randall-Saldivar's body was found floating near Pier 39 along the Embarcadero. An investigation began after the medical examiner determined his death to be a homicide. Police recovered surveillance video from Rowe's apartment that allegedly captured the murder. Between February 3 and 5 last year, according to court documents, the video shows both defendants and the victim having consensual sex in Rowe's apartment. Then Rowe leaves and re-enters the room while Anderson and Randall-Saldivar converse in front of the door. The victim then sits down in a chair and has his hands tied behind his back by Anderson. Both defendants make a noose and put the noose over the victim's neck, according, again, to court documents. The rope is then elevated above an unknown object in the room and pulled on at various times by the defendants. A bag was then put over the victim's head, and Anderson administers a narcotic, which was believed to be fentanyl, administered this narcotic with a syringe to the victim. After the victim collapses, the defendants place him on the bed and begin to slap him about. Anderson is then seen getting a suitcase from the closet, and she stuffs Randall-Saldivar inside and eventually seals the suitcase in plastic. Defendant Rowe then eats junk food and plays his guitar over the suitcase. The suitcase is kept in the room for a day as the defendants go about their business. Then on February the 5th at around about 2:30 in the morning, Anderson and Rowe are captured on video rolling the suitcase down Market Street. The court had ordered Rowe to have a psychological evaluation, and he was being held without bail. Years ago, the Bay Area reporter had reported on the adoption of Randall-Saldivar by Christopher Saldivar and Mark Randall. They adopted Randall-Saldivar when he was 10 years old in 2004 out of the foster care system. The young boy had bounced between 3 foster homes prior to his adoption by his fathers, and social workers considered him a special needs child. He had behavioural issues and was taking several medications at the time, but after some time with Randall and Saldivar, had stopped taking his medications and stopped acting out. Shortly before we got involved, they told us if we didn't succeed, it was unlikely he would be put up for adoption again. If you go by statistics, in 7 or 8 years he would have ended up homeless, drug addicted, or in prison. It is pretty clear cut and almost unbearable to think about. Saldivar did not respond to a request for comment. So, there's not really much more going on this. This one was actually brought to my attention by a commenter on one of my videos. I think I'd maybe even on that comment, this user had stated that Randall-Saldivar had been butchered and stuffed in the case before being thrown in the bay. Apparently this was pretty fucking horrifying and horrific. I mean, it sounds it anyway, but I do believe that that report there is not divulging all details. If anyone is listening, if there is any further details on this case, which I imagine there has been, I'm struggling to find it coming up on Google. I don't know if that's to do with me being in Britain and I'm not getting the right pages coming through on the bloody algorithms, but if anyone sees this and has any up-to-date information on what was going on or how devastatingly evil and terrible this crime was, then please drop a comment, drop a link. Thank you. Auf Wiedersehen.